Ah, Christmas time is here again. The lovely smell of pine in the air, kids fawning over what presents may be underneath their Christmas tree, and of course, a delicious hot cup of Tatsumi Fujinami apple cider in my cup. It's still bad. Still not delicious. But honestly, Christmas time is my favorite time of year. The bright lights, the crowded malls, the insane traffic, the complete overstimulation of the senses. I've got the special type of mental illness where, like, this time of year is custom made for me. And even better is when shows that have literally nothing to do with Christmas just violently try to shoehorn a little holiday spirit into their series. And no show does that better than Monday Night Raw. You end up with ridiculous street fights where Randy Orton yeets a Christmas box at a dude's head. You get mysteries around the season, like who threw the pie at Kevin Owens. And of course, you get old Stone Cold Steve Austin, giving a big stunner to Kris Kringle.
What?
Santa Claus.
What?
Saint Nick.
What? Popo Gijo. What?
But for me, one holiday episode sticks out above all others. And no, it's not the one where Hornswoggle gets to join D-Generation X, although that is a good one. I did a whole video on it. Check it out after this. No, instead, I want to talk about one specific night and one specific fight. A Miracle on 34th Street fight. This episode of Monday Night Raw, emanating from the Console Energy Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, took place on Christmas Eve itself, which meant instead of spending time with friends and family, the people in attendance that night got to spend their holiday season with John Cena, Sheamus, and the entire Monday Night Raw roster. That sounded a lot less depressing in my head when I wrote it. Wow. But yeah, it was the holiday season. It was Christmas, and the show kicks off with Justin Roberts announcing that week's guest host, Santa Claus. And that jolly old Saint Nick, that must have been a typo or something, that's weird. Anyways, comes out to the crowd smiling, cheeks all red, belly jiggling like a bowl full of jelly, and of course handing out gifts to all of the good little boys and girls of the WWE universe, when he's joined by the newly minted babyface Alberto Del Rio, a guy who had been a villain throughout his entire WWE career, but seemed to have a change of heart at TLC when he attacked the three-man band and established himself as a fan favorite moving forward. And you know, I've said a lot of bad things about Alberto Del Rio, mostly because he deserves it. He fucking sucks. But you know, it's the holiday season, the season of forgiving, the season of letting bygones be bygones. And I guess at the end of the day, if Del Rio is truly changed, if he's become a new man, if he's become the type of person that even Santa Claus wants to be seen alongside, well, I guess maybe he's all right.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
You fucking killed Santa Claus! I gave you one chance, one opportunity, and you fucking killed Santa Claus! Don't even act like you're innocent right now. Don't act like, oh no, I don't want to know what happened. No, bitch, you saw him. I heard the accelerator. You accelerated and killed fucking Santa Claus, you son of a bitch. Oh God, and now they're loading him up on a fucking stretcher. Oh, it's fucked, man. The whole thing, whole Christmas, just throwing the fucking garbage can. It's fucked. Thanks, Del Rio. You ruined the holidays. You know what? I made the mistake of watching this with my 4-year-old daughter, and she was like, oh my God, Santa and wrestling? These are like the two best things ever coming together. And then you fucking killed him. And my 4-year-old looked me in the eyes and was like, Santa's dead? And I'm like, yeah, because that son of a bitch marked him. Fuck you, Del Rio. But luckily for us, and even more luckily for Alberto Del Rio, Santa Claus had not yet slipped from this mortal coil. Because, of course, if he had, Del Rio would have had to put on the suit and be the new Santa Claus, as is the rules established by the Santa Claus. And, like, I'm sorry, I'm just not ready to live in a world where Alberto Del Rio is fucking Santa. So, luckily, Santa survives this attack and gets wheeled off to the doctor's room, where I've been told he received a Z-Pack and was told it should be fine for him to deliver presents in a few hours. Meanwhile, the entire WWE locker room is surrounding the doctor's area, all waiting desperately for some information on Santa Claus. And it was delivered by the one person you absolutely want to give you information on Santa Claus, Booker T.
What's wrong, bro? Santa's down.
Oh, no. Come on, man.
And then Del Rio arrives, and just this massive chorus of boos come down on him. The whole locker room's like, dude, fuck you, you killed Santa. And honestly, he almost killed Santa, so he deserved it. And then Booker announces that before Santa passed out into his coma or whatever he's in, he made one last announcement. That in the main event, Alberto Del Rio was going to be fighting in a Miracle on 34th Street fight against John Cena.
Do it for Santa. Do it for Santa, man.
Santa! 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 Santa!
Dude, how the fuck can people not like wrestling? This shit fucking rules, dude. John Cena's defending the honor of Santa Claus against a dude who just hit him with like a fucking fancy car. And like, oh, it's so good. It's so stupid. I love this shit. Now, while Santa Claus was nearly murdered at the beginning of the episode, as we've learned in the WWE, the show must always go on. And this show most certainly went on. We got to see old rivalries begin anew as Sheamus takes on the Big Show in a lumberjack frost match, which is just a lumberjack match, but some dudes have Santa hats on, I guess. 8 divas went toe-to-toe in a Santa's Little Helper Divas tag team bout, which went just as well as you'd expect. And then, of course, all of the lumberjacks from the Lumberjack Frost match return later in the show to compete in a 12 Days of Christmas 12-man tag team match. That's too many fucking boys. That's too many boys. You don't need 12 dudes out there at once. You don't need Brodus Clay. You don't. If wrestling's taught us anything, better without him. You don't need it. In addition to the series of, I'll be honest, not the best matches that happened that evening, we also got some fun backstage Christmassy vignettes with newly minted lovers AJ Lee and Dolph Ziggler, who had aligned after AJ betrayed John Cena and helped Ziggles claim the Money in the Bank briefcase. We also got to see Team Hell No exchanging gifts ahead of the holiday season.
Thanks. I'm starving.
And we also got to see Zack Ryder facing off against David Otunga, defending Santa's honor, as David had come out attempting to play defense lawyer in the court of public opinion for Alberto Del Rio. And then, of course, Brad Maddox attempts to earn a contract as a WWE superstar by facing off against one of Santa's little elves.
I think Hornswoggle just said.
It's fucking Great Khali. It's Great Khali. They dressed. Whew, oh man, this is getting to Kaluber territory. It's Great Khali dressed as an elf with Hornswoggle just beating the shit out of Brad Maddox. I'm sure at the time I hated this. I was a little angry, little wrestling fan. I was just waiting for CM Punk to come out. But no, this shit fucking rules. And you know, I know what you're thinking. It's the holiday season. Maybe they gift Brad Maddox this Raw contract. Nah, he just gets the shit beaten out of him, gets murdered by Khali and sent on his merry fucking way. And then Hornswoggle and Khali grab the mic, and then this happens.
Merry Christmas. I wish you Merry Christmas.
This is also the match where Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler decide to lean into something that I like to call Christmas commentary, where the commentary team just stops talking about the match and just says vaguely Christmas-related shit. Like, I think at one point, like, Michael Cole just screams Jingle All the Way for no reason.
Kali's the size of a Christmas tree. Jingle Bell Rock. Kali just rang Maddox's silver bell.
Me and the great Kali just wanted to say, get well soon, Santa!
And speaking of old Kris Kringle, well, what's going on with him? What's his whole deal? Is he dead? Did he break a leg? Is he gonna survive this whole ordeal? Well, luckily for us, at least 5 times during the show, they show a full recap of him getting hit by the car, full recap of him getting taken to the back, and then cut to Matt Stryker, who is speaking in his most gravely serious voice I have ever heard, as he gives us the same update about Santa Claus 3 times in a row. It's just always Matt Stryker being like, fuck it, dog, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Oh my God, Santa's gonna die. Until eventually we're left just listening to the sound of Santa's heart rate monitor. And it was the most terrified I've been watching this entire show, because I was like, they're not about to canonically kill Santa Claus. But instead, his heart rate doesn't slow. It begins to climb. Up and up until...
facility due to the injuries suffered at...
Finally, we arrive at the main event of the evening, a miracle on 34th Street fight between Alberto Del Rio and John Cena. However, this isn't like any normal, brutal, bloody street fight. No, this has a twist, because the weaponry isn't found underneath the ring or stashed near ringside. Instead, it's found in presents all surrounding the ringside area and up the ramp. It results in this really kind of fun mystery box angle where you never know what the guy's gonna pull out next. Will it be a steel chair to batter your opponent with? Will it be a bowling ball to send hurtling straight towards his groin? Or will it be a teddy bear that you desperately attempt to turn into a weapon to use against John Cena? You don't know. It's really fun, actually. I'd kind of like to see like a death match, but using these exact same rules, like Nick Gage pulling out a light tube bundle that's like surrounded with Christmas lights. I think it'd be really fun, but for now we get the WWE PG version of it. Early on in the match, Del Rio actually demands a microphone and just screams into it.
It was just an accident!
Before just violently brutalizing John Cena with the microphone. And look, I'm no lawyer, but like, if you want to know the quickest way to prove you're guilty, screaming it was an accident while just bashing a dude in the head with a microphone is probably not the best way to do it. And then like John catches the microphone at one point and just screams,
Cena, Santa!
Like it was his fucking war cry, and then just goes after Alberto again. It was fucking insanity. Eventually, Cena has Del Rio in his sights, getting ready to deliver an attitude adjustment and send the crowd home happy, when suddenly, Del Rio's personal ring announcer, Ricardo Rodriguez, leaps on Cena's back, effectively immobilizing the leader of the C Nation, and suddenly, all hope for Christmas appears to be lost. All hope that maybe this year Christmas can be saved disappears. Will these two wet bandits get away scot-free? Will this aristocratic Grinch receive no comeuppance this holiday season? These questions poured through my mind when suddenly...
Wait a minute! Is it? It's Santa!
No, motherfucker! Christmas is saved! You know why? You know why? You know why? Santa's back, bitch! That's right, motherfucker! You can't keep a good man down! You can't keep a good man down this holiday season! Santa's back, and he's gonna whoop your ass, Del Rio! Comes down to the ring and just like... like whips Ricardo in the head with his bag before going up and putting on a mystical Santa sock and delivering a mandible claw straight to the jaw of Alberto Del Rio. Because, as I'm sure you've all guessed, Santa Claus is actually the Fiend. He's the Fiend. I bet you thought I was gonna say something else. Nope. The Fiend is Santa Claus. That's our headcanon here on Fight Boys, and we're sticking with it. Alberto immediately turns around into an attitude adjustment straight down into the mat, where Cena pins him 1, 2, 3 and saves Christmas, motherfucker. John Cena saves Christmas with the help of Santa Claus, who gets in the ring, raises Cena's hand high, throws out a bang bang for the audience, and sends everyone home happy to celebrate the rest of their Christmas Eve. Like, fuck, man, wrestling is just so good. It is so, like, even when it's bad, and believe me, fucking hot garbage. This whole episode of Raw was garbage, but even when it's bad, it's just so good. Like, any narrative you want to tell, whether that be romance, mystery, drama, a fucking Christmas carol, it can be told in the world of professional wrestling. And I'll be honest, wrestling will tell the story better than any other medium, because in the middle of the story, there's just dudes like doing cool flips and shit and being strong boys. Like, wrestling rules. Like, I remember watching this with my entire family that Christmas Eve. My family, who, for the most part, doesn't care about wrestling outside of, like, my direct family. And yet all of us had our eyes glued to the TV because we wanted to see what happens next. And at the end of the day, being gathered with your family, sharing joy and happiness, watching heroes rise, villains fall, and happiness and joy overcoming all else, well, that's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown. And it's also about watching John Cena pick up a fucking Christmas tree and just wha-bam! Hit Alberto Del Rio in the dick with it because he tried to fuck up Santa. And guess what we don't do in this household? We don't fuck up Santa. You try that shit in the North Pole, you're getting fucked up right now, son. So there it is, my retrospective on one of my favorite old Christmas Eve episodes of Monday Night Raw. What'd you think? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if there are any other Buck Wild episodes of Raw you'd like me to revisit in the future. And of course, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure... Fuck it, it's Christmas. Enjoy your time with your family. Spread joy. And also donate money to patreon.com/fightboys. That way I can afford a bunch of really cool presents for my kids. Thank you very much. Give me money. And remember that when you're a fight boy for life.